The smiling tyrant. You ever meet someone so nice it makes your skin crawl? That's the smiling tyrant, the personality that micromanages your soul under the gentle guise of just trying to help. They are perfectly polite, perfectly helpful, perfectly horrifying. You don't notice the noose tightening at first because it's made of compliments and color-coded spreadsheets. They remember your birthday, your coffee order, your childhood trauma, and they use every inch of it to organize you into something quieter, cleaner, and easier to control. Their control isn't loud, it's tender, subtle. They suggest things, they remind you, they worry about you, until suddenly your life is being narrated by someone else, and you can't make a decision without picturing their face. You start asking permission to be yourself. Disagreeing with them feels like insulting a rescue dog. You can't. They've done so much for you. You owe them. Even if they didn't say it, you feel it. And that's the trap. Their kindness is currency, and you're in debt. The smiling tyrant doesn't raise their voice. They just make you feel like a failure for wanting anything different. Independence is framed as recklessness. Privacy becomes distancing. They act hurt, not angry, which somehow cuts even deeper. You find yourself apologizing for things that didn't even happen. You stop asking for space. Eventually you stop asking for anything. And if you finally break and tell them the truth, that you feel suffocated, that you miss having a mind of your own, they'll nod, smile, say, "I understand." Then they'll tell everyone you're ungrateful and unstable, and sleep like a baby. The puppeteer. The puppeteer is the one who never seems destructive because their fingerprints are never on the weapon. They're behind the curtain, pulling strings made of charm, secrets, and silent leverage. They don't just manipulate, they engineer. You think you met them by chance? That friendship was organic? The conversation's accidental? Cute. They've been studying you since minute one. They know your pressure points better than your therapist. They know how to get you to do what they want and make you think it was your idea. You don't see them coming because they never arrive in costume. They mirror you. Calm, safe, relatable. But once you're inside their world, it's game theory with your identity on the table. They'll get you to question your values, rewrite your priorities, betray your own intuition, all while smiling like a life coach. They are allergic to confrontation. Why fight when you can maneuver? They'll make enemies of your allies, turn your fears into roadmaps, and rewrite your boundaries into loopholes. You'll become an extension of their agenda, and you'll thank them for the privilege. And when the curtain finally drops, when you realize you've been dancing to someone else's rhythm for months or years, they'll vanish. Poof. No apology, no closure, just silence, because closure implies a story ever ended, and the puppeteer never finishes a story. They just move to the next stage. You won't even know what they took until you try to get it back and find there's nothing left in your hands but strings. The existential void. There's no screaming here, no drama, no manipulation. The existential void doesn't hurt you actively. They just don't believe in anything. And being close to them is like watching color drain from your worldview. At first it feels profound. They speak in riddles and minimalist cynicism, like a nihilistic monk who just escaped a philosophy textbook. They've got that deadpan brilliance that makes you question your entire personality after every conversation. Capitalist illusions, love, biochemical trick, fulfillment, a myth for the weak. You start to admire them. They seem immune to suffering. You think it's wisdom. It's not. It's resignation, masquerading as enlightenment. Try sharing something that excites you, a new idea, a goal, a spark of hope, and watch how fast they pop it like a balloon in a funeral. Not with aggression. No, that would imply passion. They just raise an eyebrow, maybe offer a quote from Camus, or mutter, "That won't last." You'll laugh, then you'll pause, and then it hits you. They meant it. They exist in a state of permanent emotional winter, and if you stick around too long, they'll freeze you too, because nihilism isn't just a worldview, it's a disease that metastasizes into everything you love. You'll find yourself mocking your own ambition. You'll ghost people before they can prove you right. You'll start believing that nothing matters, and feel smart for doing it. But the truth? It's not intelligence, it's decay. The existential void doesn't challenge your beliefs. They starve them, slowly, until you forget you ever had any, and by the time you wake up, you're laughing at your own funeral. The apocalyptic romantic. Love, to this personality, is not affection. It is obliteration. The apocalyptic romantic doesn't fall in love. They detonate into it. They show up like fate itself had a nervous breakdown and decided to take it out on you. Every word from them feels like prophecy. Every glance like a warning. They don't just love you, they consume you. You will think they are art, a poet's ghost, someone who bleeds honesty and dreams in cinematic color. And maybe they are, but you are not dating a person. You are dating a fever dream. They are addicted to intensity, not intimacy. Intensity. You'll have 4 a.m. rooftop conversations about death and reincarnation and what your eyes looked like in 1642. You'll feel chosen, like the universe finally cracked open and handed you a soulmate wrapped in tragedy and glitter. Then comes the crash. Always. Because the apocalyptic romantic is unsustainable. They expect you to match their fire, their chaos, their poetry, every day. And when you start to show boundaries, or needs, or, God forbid, peace, that's when the accusations start. You're cold. You're pulling away. You don't understand them. But it's not about being understood. It's about being mirrored. They need a partner who reflects their myth, not challenges it. Eventually you become the villain in their personal opera. The one who used to be different. The one who couldn't handle their depth. They will leave dramatically. Or maybe they'll just ghost you, citing energy shifts and karmic timelines. Doesn't matter. You'll be wrecked, and you'll still check their Instagram for months, just to see if they're writing sad poetry about you. Spoiler, they are. They do it for every ex. The hollow mentor. This one's gonna hurt. The hollow mentor is that older, wiser, more experienced personality that you think is here to guide you until you realize they're just trying to live through you. They don't glow with wisdom, they drip with it like molasses covered uncovering a trap. They've been through it, they just want what's best. But slowly, steadily, they start carving themselves into your choices. They frame your uncertainty as proof that you need them, not temporarily, not for a season, but permanently. At first, their advice is golden, practical, sharp, but over time, they stop coaching and start controlling. They hijack your wins, rewrite your decisions, rewrite you. They never outright say don't grow, that would expose the game. Instead, they congratulate you just enough to stay necessary. Your progress becomes their possession. God forbid you start to outgrow them. That's when the mask slips. Suddenly you're ungrateful, naive, a traitor to the very foundation they helped you build. They don't let go, they withhold. Validation, access, guidance, all evaporate the moment you show independence. You realize their mentorship was conditional, transactional. They didn't invest in you. They invested in a version of you that stayed small enough to manage. You were a mirror for their own unfinished potential, and the second that reflection changed, they shattered it. Being under the hollow mentor is like being raised in a house built on sand. It feels solid until you try to leave.